This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shake it, body.
Wake your punk ass up. That crust out your eyes.
What number are we thinking of?
69, dudes!
In 1989, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. That's when it came out. Alex Winter, Keanu Reeves. That was the beginning of two of the biggest acting careers that Hollywood has ever seen. Yeah. Alex Winter, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Oh, wow, man. Just going back, everybody here got so excited when we had the opportunity to bring you up, man. For me, that was my first time really I grew up in Oakland, so we didn't have dude culture.
Yeah,
back then.
A little further south.
Yeah, right. That was more a valley thing, and but then everybody became a dude, even Hart and Thugs.
I know.
Did you see him, right?
Yeah, it's true. I was like in Paris not long after that movie, and there were a bunch of kids skating on like, "Hello, dude." Hey, dude. I don't know why they spoke. I don't know why they spoke like Mexicans, but they did. Weird thing.
Do people, when they see you now, do they? Because we were reading this story. DB was telling me about this story that you and Keanu was walking outside, and people think it was like a parade or something.
Yeah. It's a funny story. We were hanging out in New York like 10 years ago, and we went in to eat at a restaurant and we just sat there for like 5 hours talking, and we kind of lost track of time. When we came out, we were in the middle of the West Village Halloween parade. So we were like smack in the middle of like 10,000 people, and we've been friends a long time. We've been all over the place together, and we get recognized. I get recognized every day, but we don't normally go to crowd-infested areas.
Yeah.
And a couple of drunk guys walked past us and went, "Look, it's two fat old dudes trying to be Bill and Ted."
Yo,
that's when we decided to go on a diet and make a third one.
Yeah. So did y'all ever finish the third one?
No. We've been cooking that up for the last few years. We'll probably make it sometime next year. Looks like.
Okay, so Cook, are you guys gonna write, direct it?
No, the two original writers, thankfully, not us. We would like it to be good.
So will Bill and Ted be like grandparents now? Or?
Almost. Yeah, I don't want to give away the plot, but yeah, it's not exactly the destiny we thought we had coming.
Okay, but still dudes.
Yeah,
just
we're
old
still
dudes now.
Yeah, exactly, old dudes. Yeah.
All right. Yo, go ahead. I know you're just geeking for this moment, DB.
I can talk about Bill and Ted for the next half hour, but I know you're here to promote Deep Web and everything like that. And while watching it made me think of the movie Seven, because there's a whole lot of thing, and it basically boils down to right and wrong. And the movie Seven, Morgan Freeman tells Brad Pitt that they can go to the library and access the FBI. They have a way of reading what people check out at the library.
Right.
And he said it's not a matter of legal or illegal, but it's a guide you can use in order to catch criminals.
Yeah.
And in Deep Web, the government uses a way of tracking Ross Ulbricht's computers and his servers, but they don't actually give away how they did it when it came to the trial.
Okay.
Yep,
you just had a one-on-one conversation with Alex. Okay? So let's bring the rest of the world in. Okay, Deep Web is a documentary about what?
The Deep Web is primarily a documentary about the Silk Road black market, which appeared in an area of the internet called the darknet, which was created mostly by the government over the last 20 years for privacy and anonymity on the internet. You can use special applications to get into the darknet, and it's used by governments and journalists and all kinds of people who need privacy online. It's also used for people who create black markets. And the Silk Road primarily sold drugs, and it showed up in 2011. It was seized and shut down in 2013.
Now, Silk Road was a website? Or?
Silk Road was an online website on the darknet only, so it wasn't a .com. It was you needed Tor, an application called Tor, to access it. And
now, was Tor created by the military?
Tor was partly funded by the U.S. Navy, and it's certainly used largely by government agencies around the world. Journalists use it, dissidents use it, WikiLeaks uses it. So it's got a lot of uses. I mean, the idea of having privacy on the internet was not created for nefarious purposes. It was created for the same reason that you have privacy at home. But like any other community or terrain, it can be used for anything, including criminality.
Yeah.
So the Silk Road was moving a lot, like $1 billion in business on this anonymous service with anonymous users using Bitcoin, which is a digital currency which is capable of being anonymous. It's not anonymous by itself. So here you had, for the first time in history, is kind of a watershed moment. You had a giant private community selling whatever they wanted with anonymous currency. It was a huge threat on a number of levels, and it was shut down. And the guy who was accused of and charged and convicted of running this is a young man named Ross Ulbricht, who's being sentenced this week.
Okay. He's being sentenced Friday, right?
He's being sentenced on Friday.
Okay. So I'm going to open up the phone lines because I have some questions. I know Heather and Tracy look like they have questions as well because I've been a victim of identity theft, and I wonder if they somehow went through the dark web to get to my information. Is that possible?
It's unlikely. The thing about the dark net is that it was mostly created by sort of privacy and anonymity advocates and engineers. So, look, it's possible that someone can sell your information over the surface web. They can sell it over any website. Like when there's a giant web hack that happens, like the Sony hack or the Target hack
or the IRS happened
recently. Exactly. A lot of that information just shows up on the surface web. It doesn't normally go underground. But again, it's not to say the internet is gigantic, so it can almost happen anywhere. The dark net doesn't in a way make it easier to do. It makes it harder to reach your customers. If you're a hacker who wants to sell information, you're not going to put it in an area that's hard to get to. So the reality is a lot of the people who are building the privacy and encryption tools that is used for the dark net are the privacy and encryption tools that you need in order to not get hacked next time. And that's really the big debate that's going on right now. It's like, should we allow privacy and encryption for our phones, for our computers? Some people in law enforcement say, absolutely, we have to have this or people are too vulnerable. Other people in law enforcement say, no, you can't have that or we can't catch the bad guys. Yeah. It's a conundrum, and even people within the government have conflicting ideas about it.
Okay, Alex Winter is here, man. You want to talk with him about this? 888-742-3345. Give us a call.
In the U.S. and more than a dozen other countries worldwide.
That's just a piece of the documentary Deep Web, produced, written, and directed by Alex Winter, who is here with us today. And your good buddy Keanu Reeves actually is narrating it, right?
Yeah, that's right.
What is he into this, or he just did you a favor?
No, he's into it. He was, he's been involved in this, and I did a movie before this called Downloaded about Napster, the rise and fall of Napster, and he was sort of highly interested in that too. So he took a bit more of a consulting producer role in this one, and had been watching the cuts from the beginning. So it just seemed to make sense as we got closer to needing VO.
Why did you want to make this documentary?
I've been involved, active in the internet, as a layman since the 80s. And, I've been watching these global communities rise on the internet since the 80s. And it's just evident that they're changing the world in all of these ways, some good, some bad. And I like, as a storyteller, telling stories that aren't easy, about subjects that aren't easy. They may be unpalatable. It may cause people to get angry, whatever. The reaction to them, I think that speaks to the fact that they have, big impact on the world. And I think that's a fascinating thing to tell a story about.
I was a little oblivious to the dark net. I wasn't
supposed to be.
I watched Scandal, right? And I remember when Olivia got kidnapped, Olivia Pope, and they were doing this bidding thing, and you had to have these encryption codes in order to place the bid and get in. And I guess maybe that was some variation of the dark net. That just sounds real Hollywood right there. Yeah. All right, man. Thank you, Alex.
The world is whatever we want it to be. Let's just create something.
Let's just write it. Okay. So I'm going to go to some phone callers. We got Nick on the line from Philly. Big Nick, what up, Nick?
Yo, I just wanted to say I've used that Silk Road before. It's a pain in the ass to get going and everything, but that shit is extremely well organized, or was. And every drug I got off that was fire, yo. Everything was bomb as shit, like prime ass Molly, like prime ass Coke, like everything was fire. That shit's crazy. I mean, I was even saying someone's gotta make a movie on it, like that shit. It was fun. It was a pain in the ass to get the money on there too and everything, but it was worth it. I got that shit shipped right to my dorms free, right there.
Damn, man, what a crackhead! All right, so let me ask you this: how would you get it? So it would come in the mail?
Yeah. I would. Well, me and my boys would get some just bread together or whatever, and fucking come right in the mail, right in my mailbox to my dorm. Like a couple days later, too, from Germany. I would get it from like some crazy ass scientist down in like Germany or some shit. I don't fucking know.
What? Sent to your actual address? You weren't worried that like authorities were just gonna pop up?
No, like I was. A lot of people have done it though. Like it was really big, especially throughout the college scene. Like it was just out there. So, I mean, I was like, fuck it. If everyone else is doing it and it seems real, then I'll do it. Like, I try to keep it low-key, too, but, I mean, this shit was right.
It was bump. Hey, so did you ever graduate?
Nah, I'm still in school. I'm about to go to class right now.
Okay, all right.
I didn't do none of that shit. I ain't crazy like that. I wasn't eating that shit. I mean, I tried out, but
that means you were doing it.
I was hooking people up with it.
Okay. Oh, okay. So you were a drug dealer.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Nick. All right. We got Drew on the line from Chicago. Yeah, Big Drew, what up, Drew?
Drew.
Hey, Sway, what's up?
Hey, Alex Winter is here, and this deep web documentary is premiering Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Epix.
That's right.
EPIX. So make sure you check it out. What you want to ask him?
I want to ask Alex, first of all, I'm a long-time listener, Sway in the morning and everything.
Thank you, man. You're a citizen.
Sway in the morning.
Yeah, so I was kind of surprised to hear that Alex was going to be on the show this morning. I had a question about what he thought about Bitcoin and like the other cryptocurrencies, and if he thought like the government either going to keep going after them, or if you think it's actually going to be like a popular thing for the future.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that I'm not one of these big Bitcoin evangelists, so I don't think it's gonna take over the world or anything. But I do think that there are a lot of really positive uses for Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is mostly used, by sort of micro countries that need to get money in and out, and it saves them. It actually helps their economy. It saves them, millions and millions and millions of dollars. Countries in Africa and other places like that.
What is Bitcoin? Because a lot of folks
Bitcoin it's a protocol. So Bitcoin is a technology that can be used for currency, and it can be used for creating purely digital currency. Mm-hmm. It's sort of right now it's outside the control of banks and governments because it's literally mined by individuals all over the world. They create more Bitcoin. The Bitcoin enters the sort of economic population, and it's used for direct digital exchange. It will eventually, to some degree, get regulated. It will become kind of more. I mean, you can buy shoes with it, like on Overstock or some of these other places. Actually, take Bitcoin now, so it is getting more popular. I think the people that were arguing against it, saying it was like a Ponzi scheme. It's not a Ponzi scheme. There isn't somebody who's profiting from people using Bitcoin. It's kind of an open technology that everybody can build on.
Yeah.
But it's not going away. This idea of purely digital currency is certainly in its infancy. It's not something that's just going to evaporate.
Okay, we got Dimitro from Atlanta on the line. What up, D?
Hey, what's going on, Sway? I just had a question for Alex Winter. As far as because I'm former military, but me and my buddy, we actually came across the subject one time, but I don't know how much it was relative to what you're actually talking about. But as far as ISIS and using this program, is it possible for them to use this and move drugs and weapons across and sell whatnot?
I think most people in the tech community think that's been exaggerated. That isn't to be some evangelist for these technologies. I think it's simply to say that it's not really accurate to look at these technologies as good or bad. I mean, the fact is the internet, just like being out in the real world, can be used for negative purposes. The darknet is constantly being surveilled. ISIS is constantly being surveilled. They're normally caught if they are caught through. I mean, the danger, I would say, of terrorist organizations using encrypted technology is it can, in the end, you and I were talking about this offline, it can, in the end, actually be extremely trackable.
Yeah.
It's like, like I always say this, the internet is not a great place to buy and sell drugs because digital currency is actually very trackable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, cash is a much better means of buying drugs.
Don't be lazy.
If you're going to break the law, breaking the law in a digital form where every move you make is being recorded and baked. I mean, the people.
Footprint.
The internet never forgets. Everything you do on the internet is there forever. So. Whoa. I would argue that sorry. I tell my kids this all the time. Did you really want to post that? Really? Wow. But people like ISIS, sure, it can be used. But if you're ISIS and you're using the dark net, you're definitely putting yourself at risk of being caught.
All right. Alex Winter is here, and man, make sure whatever you're doing Sunday night that you sitting in front of a TV, watching Epics, so you can watch this film, and it's called Deep Web.
And you have to say it like that, too.
Yeah, because, give it that deep throat appeal,
That's right.
Hey.
Yeah.
Wow.
Great. You just expanded my audience by a million people.
You want them to watch it, don't you? All right. Now, DB came with a great game, and it's called
the Sway Hip Hop Trivia Game.
Good luck, dude.
Good luck, dude. All right, good luck, Alex.
So, question number 1.
Yeah.
Sway and King Tech released a track called The Anthem, which featured several big-name hip-hop rappers. Which rapper was not featured on that song? A, Eminem, B, Nas, or C, KRS-One?
Eminem.
Sorry. He was actually the third rapper on the track.
It was KRS-One?
KRS-One? No, it wasn't
KRS-One was the one who wasn't on it?
No, it was Nas.
Oh, I would have failed twice then. Because Chris would have been my second choice.
If you want to, you can still download that track on iTunes, Alex.
I will do that. I will purchase that immediately.
The Anthem.
I won't torrent it or anything.
Okay. All right. Question number 2. On her debut album, Taking Mine, Heather B collaborated with the group MOP thanks to the introduction by which legendary hip-hop producer? A, DJ Premier, B, Pete Rock, or C, Q-Tip?
Q-Tip.
Damn, Alex.
I'm going to fail this completely.
That's all right.
It was
It's
DJ
too early
Premier.
for me.
How many more questions you got?
We got 2 more.
Okay, great.
Good. All right.
I can be 0 for 4.
Question number 3. Before becoming an expert at finding all the juicy celebrity gossip and rumors, Tracy G used to be known as A, Young Jizzle, Trey Money, or Trey Hova.
That's Tracy G, by the way.
I'm going to fail this completely.
Come on, Alex. I'm rooting for you.
I'll say it's B.
Straight over, my
All right, let's switch it
dude.
around a little bit. We
Okay.
got to make it fair for him.
Yeah.
This is for Sway, Heather, and Tracy. In Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Bill and Ted go back in time to gather historical figures for their final oral history report. Who did they not bring back? A, Billy the Kid, B, Abraham Lincoln, or C, Babe Ruth?
Babe Ruth.
Excellent.
There you go. Thank God. Somebody won something.
I know my Bill and Ted. I know my Bill and Ted. Deep Web. Make sure you guys watch it this Sunday night, 8 p.m. on Epix Network. And congratulations,
Thanks,
Alex.
man. Thanks for
Absolutely,
having me.
man. Hey, so when y'all finish that third edition, can you bring Keanu up here with you? And we
I
can
will
have
do
it?
that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man.
Yeah.
I always wanted him to teach me that Matrix move.
Yeah.
All right.
You won't get up after that.
You
but-
won't get up?
Yeah.
Okay,
You'll be
cool.
laughing so hard.
All right. Well, thank you, man. Alex, thanks for coming by, bro.
Thank you.
It's Sway in the morning. Only on Shade 45.